Hello, friends. Hello. It is so good to be with you. You are live with Carrie here at Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel, and I am glad you're with me. All right, today I'm so excited to bring you this fun project. It has a very easy pop-out mechanism on the inside, and I am excited to share it with you. So let's go ahead and jump right into our project. Okay, so here is our card, and it is made with the Toadally Awesome stamp set. And you can see I've got lots of foil going on here. And we're going to do a little bit of foiling today as well as make our pop-out mechanism. So let's take a look. You know what? Before we go any farther, I can't wait to show you the inside. So let's just go ahead and do that. So it's your day. Do what makes you happy. Happy birthday. And we've got our frog there. I don't know, maybe he's just doing a flop there in his little pool, but I just love how the inside of this is just a surprise when you open it up. So we are going to work on that today. So for my products, I'll be using the Toadally Awesome stamp set, which is great for spring and has so many cute little images there. I'm using the curly frame die, which I'm using to be my pond. We're using the simple sentiment strips, and I'll be using the Do What Makes You Happy and the It's Your Day. I am using two of the different dies that come from the inverted scallops. 90% of the time I use this large outside one, but today I'm actually using the second one in and the third one in. I am using the large happy word, and I'm using the birthday word. These are sold separately. I just store them together in my packaging. Then I also am using the Happy Day balloon set. I'm using two different slimline toner packets. This one is called the Wavy, and I'm using the solid toner sheets. And last of all, I'm going to be using a piece of the Bokeh Bliss paper, and I'm using this one right down here. So quite a bit of product went into making this one. And we're going to start with our foiling. To do the foiling, we're actually going to do double foiling. Hello. Okay, I don't want to call you Dark Side. What's your first name? If not, I'll have to call you Dark Side, but thank you so much for being here with me. So I'm going to be using this piece right here, and first I'm going to foil this piece using the peacock blue foil. So that's going to give me this sheet right here. But what it also gives me is the extra. So this piece that I peel off, I'm going to use that on my solid toner sheet. So I'm going to take one of my solid toner sheets, place this on top, and run it through my machine. Then when that comes out, I will take another piece of peacock and run it over the top through the machine a second time. And that's going to give me my double foiled sheet. So that's what's wonderful about having these solid toner sheets. Sorry, my brain just went blank. Having these solid toner sheets is that you never have any waste. And even after I do this piece, I'm going to have another negative that I can do again. And you can just keep doing this process over and over and over, because every single time you do the second one, it's going to give you another one of these. So that is just one of the wonderful things about having the solid toner sheets. So I highly recommend, if you enjoy foiling, and this is the kind of foiling that you do with a laminator or a Mink or one of those kinds of machines. This is not the kind that you do with the Glimmer where you use your die cut machine. Okay, this is the heat transferred, not the press. So it's the you want to make sure you're using the right kind of foil. And I am using foil today from Deco Foil. So that's they're the main carriers of the ones for this kind of product. Okay. Hopefully that answers any questions for the foiling, and that is how I got my really fun double foiled background here. And I just wanted to do that to add some interest there in the back of my card and to bring in some of that shine. Now I have also stamped out all of my pieces and gone ahead and colored those using Copic markers. So I think I just stamped everything one time for this card, and so this is what I have with my pieces. All right. Go ahead and move those out of the way. Now for my dies, I have cut one piece of paper down to 4 by 5 1/4. And using my inverted scallops, we're going to go ahead and get all of our pieces. Oh, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. I'll pull out the 2 that we're using. There we go. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to position it so that I have equal distance on all the sides. Then I'm going to go ahead and run that through my die cut machine, and that's going to give me this nice frame with the stitching on the inside. So that is how I made my frame for this card. Then for this one, I'm going to run that through on a white sheet of paper, and that's going to give me this piece right here. So there we go. We've got 3 all ready to go. Now on my Boca Bliss, on the pretty blue and green piece, I'm going to cut that down to pretty much the same size here as my frame, which was 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and mount that right behind there. There we go. All right, if you're interested in any of the products that I'm using today, I do have my affiliate links at the bottom of this video, which you are always welcome to use if you want to pick up any of these wonderful products. So this is one of my favorite dies. It's so unique and so fun to use in so many different ways. On today's project, I'm going to be using it as a pond, but I'm going to die cut this twice. Once out of some lime green paper, and then I'm going to die cut it a second time out of some foiled blue paper. And this is just paper that I have in my stash. If you didn't have the foiled kind, you could definitely just use a piece of blue paper. But rather than cut them apart, I cut it out twice. So I actually have the opposite. I have the green center and the blue outline that I can maybe use for a second project. I always like to get the most bang for my buck by saving all those pieces and using the negatives in different ways. So this is definitely a card that you could make a twofer by doing it, by using those extra pieces. All right, now for my happy, I went ahead and in the same color that I cut my frame on the front, I cut out the word happy. And I also cut out the word birthday. I cut the outline in white, and then the pretty stitched birthday outline, I die cut that in a purple. So these are just the colors that I chose. I wanted this card to be able to work for a young man, so I tried to just pick colors that would, you know, work okay for masculine as well. All right, so we've got most of our pieces here. The last thing are my balloons. So for the balloons, I wanted my balloons to look like Mylar balloons. I wanted them to be shiny. So there were lots of different ways I could have gone about it, but I had some foiled paper. So I went ahead, and the way I got my balloons is I stamped them on the back side of foil paper, and then I just fussy cut them by hand. So that's what I'll do right now to this one. Now another way you could have done this was to stamp it on the back of your toner paper, on our toner sheets that I showed you. You could stamp it on the back of that, and then use your laminator or your Mink to foil those in whatever color that you like. But if you have any specialty paper like glitter paper or foiled paper, you could even use a patterned paper. Lots of different things. Balloons come, especially Mylar balloons, just come in all kinds of patterns. So I love these large balloons. It just gives you a nice palette to work with on your balloon surface there. They're nice and big. so many ways you can go with it. I'm going to trim that just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here's my balloon. Now, one thing with my foiled paper, I felt like you could really see that white edge. It's kind of thick. So I'm going to come back with a couple of colors here. And I just picked a couple of colors that would match my balloons. And I'm just going to very lightly run my dauber around the edges to take away that white edge. Now, if you use the toner paper, you might not have to do this step. I'm not sure if it would give you that thick white edge, but if you did, that is how I took care of that. All right, we're going to do this one real quick. Yeah, stamping on the back of the foiled paper, you know, foil and ink usually don't mix. It'll smear no matter how long you let it sit and dry or heat set. It just doesn't let that ink grip onto it. So stamping on the back side is the way to go. There we go. Yeah, I just liked getting rid of that white edge. I thought that made it, I liked it better. Do we have all of our pieces? I think so. Okay, the other thing you're going to need is 2 strips of white paper, and I think this is 80 pound. You just want it to have a little bit of sturdiness. You don't want to use like typing paper or something. It needs to be 80 or greater. And you need those to be a 1/2 inch wide. And you could probably get away with just one, but I'll show you what we're going to do with those in a moment. I also used the Simple Sentiment strip die to get one of the little strips that we're going to use on the front side. All right, I think we are ready to construct. The one other thing I did, the little streamers that are in the Happy Day set, I stamped those and colored them a dark gray just to be the strings for my balloons. Right. So we are ready to put our card together here. So first I'm going to work on the front. So I'll slide these pieces over out of the way. So Kelly, where are you in the world today? Are you somewhere where it's starting to be spring and warm? With crafting nowadays, I was talking to a lady and she was in Australia and she said it was fixing to be fall. And it's always nice. You're in Mexico. Oh no, Shauna. Hi, Shauna. It's good to see you. Oh, I'm so glad you're joining me here. Shauna has become a dear friend. She crafted with me in other places, and I just love it that you're here with me at Whimsy. All right. She's going to know a lot of my tricks. I only have a few, so. Oh, you're in East Texas. Okay. That's where, well, I'm not in East Texas, but I'm in Texas. All right, so I think I'm going to orientate it this way where the lighter color is up at the top and it gets darker as it comes down this way. Now, for my little white piece, I want this to fit right on there. So I think I'm going to trim it just a little bit. And I'm just going to do this with my scissors. There we go. So, do any of you, Kelly or Shauna, do you have travels coming up this summer? Any plans to take vacations this year? All right, so Shauna, we talked about double foiling at the beginning of this video, and this is my double foiled piece. Whoops, I'll trim that just a little closer. There we go. All right. So for this piece, I want to position that right about here. And this was just to add interest there to the cover of my card. And I really like that water look. And I put the green in there to pick up on the greens in my frog. And I really liked how that double foiled piece added interest to the background, to the front of this card. Alright, and I'm going to position it a tad higher than I did on my original. There we go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish off this piece before we add it to the front of our card, because we're going to be doing a lot of work on the inside of our card. So today is going to be a blue balloon out here on the front. And I'm going to go ahead and put a few foam dots on there. And I'm going to attach our string to the back. There we go. You want to go somewhere tropical. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say where I'm going is tropical, but it is hopefully going to be warmer. Not as warm as where I live, though. We are actually going, and I'm very excited about this. I've never been before. We're going to go to the Alps, but it's summertime there, and hopefully it won't be too cold. I think it's summertime. I hope it's summertime. I hope I'm not going to the Alps and it's cold, but I guess I should check with my husband on that. But we're very excited. So later on this spring, we're calling it our epic trip. We're very excited. So, all right, I'm gonna put my little frog. I love this little frog with his tongue sticking out. Isn't he cute? And I have gone ahead and glued the pieces together just so that I could attach them all as one piece instead of separate. You know what? I have no idea how long the flight is. I'm trying to block that part out. I'm just focusing on getting there. I'm not sure. We're going to start out in Amsterdam and then travel on. We'll be in the Alps for 5 days. So I'm not sure of how long it takes. All right, I'm going to raise that up just a bit from where I had it before because I want my little fly to be a little higher up. Go ahead. I love this little fly. Isn't he cute? Isn't this set just adorable? He even makes little bugs cute. Yeah, I know we fly to Amsterdam first and then from there go on to the Alps. So I don't know how long that flight will be. And now this is cut so that on my card, it's going to give me a 1/4 inch white around the edges. So I know I can let my leaves hang off a little bit. I'm going to position that about right there. And I have also put a piece of foam on the back of my little fly here. Shauna, that's funny. Yes. You're right. I don't ever want another puffin story. Oh, that was funny. Kelly, if anybody's interested in hearing the puffin story, there's a little video on my personal channel where I talk about a trip to Iceland that we had where we went to see puffins, and it's pretty comical. It was quite the day. Okay, so here is most of our front ready and all finished up and ready to go. So now we're going to work on the inside of our card. And I need to make sure I'm in the camera here. I got my camera just a tad higher than normal. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and find the crease. And this is an A2 card. Oh boy. And you know, I was the one that begged my husband to go see puffins. That was the one thing I wanted to do while we were in Iceland. And it just about killed me. It was never again. It was a one-time deal. Okay. So here is my little pond. And I'm going to position this. I'm going to go ahead and lay out my pieces how I think I want them before I do any gluing. Okay. So I'm going to put my little guy right here. I'm going to put this balloon up over here with this. Let me turn it around. I think I want this string like this. There we go. And on this one, I will have to keep it all in. My happy and my birthday. You know what? Here, I have a shorter string. I think I want that shorter one. Yeah, that's going to be better. There we go. I don't care if a little bit of the string hangs down in the happy, but I don't want the whole thing. Okay, how's that looking? I think that looks pretty good. And then we're going to add our little rock formation over here. Okay, so now that I have it kind of laid out, and I know that I want my little frog about right here. So I don't know if you can see the crease. Let me lay, I've got a T-ruler here, and I'm going to lay that right here at the crease of my card. And I'm going to take this pencil and I'm going to lightly draw right along there. Okay? Okay. Move these things over. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. And we're going to split these two pieces. Now, if you just glued it down and tried to get the fold, it wouldn't work very well with our pop-out mechanism. So in order to make our pop-out mechanism easily work, we need to cut this apart. So I've made that little line. I need to put my glasses on so I can see my line. Oh, I do too, Shauna. This stamp set is so, so cute. I just love it. Okay, let's get this where you can see it. So I can see my pencil line best on the green outline. So I'm just going to get this all in there properly. Line it up here just like that. And now I'm just going to cut those two apart just like that. All right. Now I'm going to lay that back out again. To position it right where I want it. I want to make sure I have room for my happy birthday, so I want it to be a little higher on the card. I'm not turning it this way. I've angled it this way on purpose so I have room. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take this smaller blue piece and I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. But I'm going to leave this right here because I don't want to glue it too high and not have room for the edge. Okay. Now, when you glue down this piece, you want to put it right up to the white line, but don't go over it. Okay? So it's very important that you don't get right on your crease. And one good way to check it is go ahead and fold, and if you're folding good, then you're good. Now, you will see a white line, but once we put our frog on and everything, like down the center of your pond, you will see the crease of your card, but it'll open and close. And your frog is going to cover up most of that. So, if it really bothered you, you could take some ink and color that in, and that might hide the white. For me, it doesn't bother me at all, so I am not going to do that. But that is something. You could take a marker and draw right along there so that it's not stark white. It would have a blue to it. But like I said, that just doesn't bother me at all. Now for this side, I don't need to lay that on because I'm just going to match it up right here. And you see, can you see how you see the white line? But once I add, where's my little frog? Here he is. Once we add our frog, it's going to almost completely cover up that white line. And with all the other stuff going on, it doesn't bother me at all. People are usually so surprised that we've got our little frog popping off the page that that white line is not what they're looking at. All right, here we go. And again, just check, make sure you can fold it okay. Yep, we're all good. going to add this on. Turn this way real quick so I can, I'm trying to get it on here without getting glue onto my water, but of course I can't do it exactly, but I'm trying. There we go. There's a little spot right there. All right, now if you did accidentally get your frame over on your crease, you would want to right now take your scissors and trim it so that you can open and shut easily, because your popping mechanism is not going to work well if you're blocking your fold. All right, so now we are ready to make our little pop mechanism, and it is so easy. I love, once I learned how to do this, you can make anything pop out of the inside of your card once you know how to do this simple little trick. It's not even a trick, it's just a step. So we've got our 1/2 inch wide white strip, and I'm just going to lay this here in my scoreboard, and I'm going to score at a 1/2 inch. I'm going to score at 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to score at 2 inches. Let's see, 1/2. Now 3 inches, 3.5 inches, and 4 inches. All right, so I'm going to take my pencil and do that again so that you can see where my marks are. All right, so you see them? So we've got 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So you're scored at 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2, 3, 3.5, and 4. And right here at the 4, we're going to cut that off. Okay? Now you're going to do that a second time in the exact same places. So we've got a 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2, 3, 3.5, and 4. I'll just go ahead and trace them just so they're the same. Here you can. Okay. Okay. I want to explain to you how these two pieces work. Okay. If you want your whatever's popping off of your card, if you want it to come further out, then you want this space right here, the 1 inch spaces, make those longer. You could make them 1.5 inches or 2 inches, you know, and this distance is how far up off the page your your thing is going to pop. See, it's going 1 inch up. If you wanted him to pop further up, you would make this part longer. If the image, this image right here, let's say it was a butterfly and it was like 4 or 5 inches wide, then the part that you would want to lengthen is this, this, and this. So these 3 right here. Those are the 3 you would want to lengthen if you had a very wide image. So hopefully that makes sense. Another thing you could do is this piece could be wider instead of a 1/2 inch. If you had a really tall item, then instead of a 1/2 inch wide, make it wider this way. So hopefully that makes sense once you see how this goes together. All right, now for this, you're going to fold all of them in towards you. Like hold it like this and just fold it all towards you. All those score lines, we're just going to fold them in a circle. All right, so what you're going to do, let's see here. Oops, you know what? There we go. I'm going to put it like that. And then I'm going to chop off this one end. I had an extra thing for some reason. Okay. But you're going to bring this up, and then these 2 right here, you're going to glue it like that. So hopefully that all made sense. Just like that. So we're going to glue that tab right onto there like that. So you've made a box. So I'm only going to put glue right here. And I don't know why I had an extra tab. I could have swore I thought I may have done one too many. That's all right. Okay. It's better to have one too many than one not enough, right? Okay. Go ahead. Get that down. Now, once you have your little box, I'm going to take my reverse tweezers and put it right there like that to hold that. And now we're going to do that again. And down here where I have two, I'm going to cut that end one off. I don't know how I did that. That's usually, I thought that was my tab, but didn't need it. There we go. All right, so now you're going to bring, so you folded them all inward. Now you're just going to bring them together and glue these top together. There we go. All right. And again, I've got a second pair of tweezers here. There we go. All right, so this first one, I'm going to play with it and make sure all these lines are burnished really well. All right, so that one's moving pretty good. This is the direction, this is how it's going to maneuver, so you want it to go back and forth really well. Hopefully that one's all ready. Same thing, we're going to burnish those really well. Okay, the next two things we're going to do, and I like to put where my seams are, I'm going to put those towards the bottom. That doesn't really matter, that's just kind of a thing that I do. All right, so you've got your two boxes like this, and we're going to glue them together. All right, just like that. Hold it just like that. So is this making sense to y'all? Hello, Deborah. Kind of give me a heart or a thumbs up if this is making sense. Have you made this mechanism before, or is this new to you? Okay, so basically you've made your two boxes and now you've glued them together. So you've got your box like this. I want you to take the top and press down so that you have this. See that? And then press it really well. All right. And hopefully we didn't get glue where it shouldn't be. No, it's good. All right, so you almost have like a little arrow thing like that. That's what you want. Now we're going to take our scoreboard one last time. It's new to you. Well, once you figure out how to do it, it's super, super simple. I hope I didn't make it look too difficult by accidentally having that extra edge. You're going to make these two boxes. You're going to shape it like that. Now, whatever your image is that you want to put on top, you're going to score it right down the middle. So for me, I'm going to do it right between his eyes. I'm just going to lay him on my scoreboard, and I'm going to score him right down the middle, right between his eyes. And I'm going to fold him. All right. We're going to fold him and we're going to burnish him. All right. Well, you're going to love this because anytime you have an image that looks like it's jumping out at you, it's going to be like, oh, I'm going to make him pop out because it's just so fun to do. All right. So we've got our little image and we've got our piece like this. Right here in the V at the top, we're going to add our glue. And we're going to take our little guy and we're going to position him right in there and pinch it shut. And again, I'm going to use my tweezers to hold on to that. Now this next part that we're going to do, I'm going to do it with score tape rather than wet glue. Because wet glue, for me, on my foil here, would take longer dry and we'd have to wait on it to do it. So if you want to use wet glue, you so can at home. I'm just going to do it because I'm on a video and I don't want to have to wait that long for it to set. So I'm going to cut a small piece of score tape. And score tape is just double-sided adhesive. I say that sometimes because that's the brand I use, but any kind of double-sided adhesive would work for this. And don't get any on your 1-inch section. We're just going to put it right there on that little 1/2-inch section. I'm going to put my score tape. And I'm going to do it to both sides, just right down on that little 1/2 inch section. There we go. I should have cut that other one. All right. Burnish it down really well. Okay, now, before we attach it on the inside, let's make sure we've got it right side up. Yep. Okay, because you don't want to accidentally put your guy on upside down, you know. So make sure you've got your image the direction that you want it. Now, we're going to peel off the score tape on one side and attach it so that the point is right at the crease. Now I'm going to press it down. I'm going to fold this, press it down. You may, if you're wanting to do this, you may have to go out and watch the video a second time just so you can kind of see. Now I'm going to remove the score tape on this side. We're going to close it again. Now we're going to say a little prayer, hope that everything works the way it should have. And whoops, almost. What did I do wrong? Oh, here. There we go. Ta-da! When I glued that at the top, it's wanting to stick. That's what's happening. Okay, there we go. So it's closed. Ta-da! He's popping out. It's just that easy. And you make 2 boxes, glue them together, and that gives you that fun pop-out mechanism. It's so super easy. It always surprises whoever opens it. So now let's just add our other pieces here. And there's so many fun images that Whimsy Stamps carries that just make me want to make them pop out. And I'm going to show you another card that I made with a set that at this point has sold out. It no longer is available, but it's a super cute card. And if you happen to have this set in your stash, I want you to see the card I made with it. Now everything on the inside of my card except for this is just glued straight on. Nothing is popped up or anything. Just our one pop-up guy. All right. I'm going to use these tweezers. I've got them sitting here. I might as well use them. So once you kind of learn that pop-up mechanism, you're going to have fun popping up all kinds of things. So, you know what? After I did this, I probably should have put the birthday on first. That way I know that I've got my happy in the right place, but hopefully I eyeballed it well. Okay, good. We have room. The more smart thing to do would have been to put birthday on first, and then you could move happy up where you need it. Sometimes when I'm on a video, I get to talking and I forget to do smart things like that. But luckily, we have room. Okay. And the last 2 is our little rock. And I'm just going to add him right behind here. There we go. And I just positioned this kind of over here to add interest over here on this side. Oh, you know what? My brain today. Okay, we're going to raise it up because I'm going to put my sentiment right across here. Almost forgot. All right, so our last 2 things are to do our 2 sentiments. So let me grab a sentiment set. I'm going to use It's Your Day. And I'm going to use Do What Makes You Happy, because this guy, he is happy in his little swimming pond. I can't think of anything that would make me happier right now than for the sun to shine and let me go swimming. That would be great. All right, and I'm going to use the blue color that I used before. Make sure you have it right side up. Going to stamp that right down here. Now, I'm not so brave to just freehand stamp with all my stamps. But Whimsy's quality is fantastic, and I never worry about messing up. But if you do mess it up, you can always go back, stamp it on a strip, and glue your strip over your mess up. But I rarely have it mess up. It's they just stamp beautifully. All right, now I have made this little strip, and for my It's Your Day, oops, let's see, where is that one? It's on here somewhere. It's Your Day, there it is. I'm going to stamp it right on here. Whoops, am I out of the camera? Sorry. Did you see that? That happened because I was out of the camera, and when I moved it forward, I moved it. That was not the stamp's fault. That was my fault. So there we go. It's your day. And I'm just going to close this up, and we're going to add our piece to the cover, and then I'll add my It's Your Day. Well, I hope that you enjoyed learning this fun pop-up mechanism. I'm just going to center that on there. Let's see, did I get it straight? No. With all that on the inside, it's a little harder to... All right, there we go. And I'm going to trim this right here. And I am going to add a little bit of foam on the back side. Well, those scissors are not working on the foam. There we go. And I'm going to position this right over here. All right, there we go. We got our foiling, our balloons. It's your day. Happy birthday. Do what makes you happy. And real quick, I'm going to share with you another card that I made in a similar fashion using the mistletoes. Now, the mistletoes are sold out. They are gone. I don't believe they're going to be restocked. They were part of the last chance. But if you have any set in your stash that has something that looks like it's popping out, ta-da, he's just popping right out of that birthday box to say happy birthday. So that's another idea if you do happen to have that. Or if you have other stamp sets that, you know, have characters like this that you see popping out, I hope that you'll give this a try. All right, I'm going to switch my camera back. If I can figure out how. There we go. All right, thank you so much for being here with me today. I love crafting with you. I'm here every Thursday at noon Central Time, and I hope that you come back to join me. Next week, we're going to do a really sparkly Easter project that I think you'll have a lot of fun with. So, all right, thanks again for tuning in, and I look forward to crafting with you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.